Back in 2018 through 2021, I was majorly addicted to a little game called League of Legends. I play it all day and night, learning the ins and outs of every character, all the different interactions, and pretty much how everything worked. And it was a constant improvement to the point where I even got Diamond, but that's where I capped, to be honest. But I was and am very happy with that. But during that time, I did try my hand at Dota 2, and I hated it so much, and that might have been due to the fact that I was so hooked on League, and I couldn't look past that Dota is its own game. So yeah, I played one game and put it down and never looked back, and I was always chalking it up to an inferior League of Legends. But recently, I've had an itch to play a Moba, and I already know League like the back of my hand, so I want to challenge myself and see if I can master Dota in 100 hours as a complete noob. So I gathered up my old duo queue partner and we got to work learning Dota 2 to see if we could actually master it, or hell, even understand it, because it is vastly different to League of Legends. Going into this, I decided to look at all the characters to see if I could get a feel for any of them just off design, and I really couldn't. I just couldn't tell where someone was meant to play, while in League you can see the characters and kind of get an estimate of where they're meant to be. Another thing I learnt was that almost every character in this game, for some ungodly reason, is a nuker, which got me extremely nervous knowing that even if it's a support, they could just pop me like nothing. And after looking for a couple minutes, I decided to play Underlord, who's meant to be a support character, which is the opposite of my usual role in League, which is an ADC. So I thought, why not try a new game, a new character, and a new role? So when we loaded up into the game, I was just thrown into an absolute mess of a shop where nothing made sense to me. And pretty much all of my starting items seemed to have active abilities, which was really throwing me off, but I just tried to ignore it for now and focus on laning, but every so often I just couldn't understand what was happening on my screen, or how the game was meant to be played. So for some reason, I just ended up asking questions of how stuff works to someone who had as much experience as me in the game.
So where does my money come from then?
Not everyone really needs money.
Oh,
Some would just use their abilities, like, supporting other games, do like CC and stuff.
Okay.
You don't really need strength to be more effective.
While laning as well, stuff was just kind of happening, like people taking items from a magical fountain and stuff like that, but the main issue that we had was we had no clue what any character did, let alone our own characters. But that didn't stop others from messing up and gifting us kills, which is where I learned a very important thing in this game, where getting kills does not matter nearly as much in the early game as it does in League of Legends. And instead you should be focusing on getting the minion kills to keep a gold lead and XP lead, but we didn't really do that. Instead we just kept trying to fight, which got us into another important lesson. The towers only pretend to help in this game. I swear they don't do anything in reality. They shoot pea shooter bullets from Plants vs Zombies at you. But even though we didn't know what we were doing in the slightest, we did end up actually winning our lane for our first game, and we were doing quite well. And I think what helped was how simple my character was. And before no time at all, we was all pushing mid and actually won our first game of Dota 2. Now, could I tell you what any of the characters did in that match other than mine? Nah. In fact, I probably couldn't even tell you what my character's role was other than rooting people. I was also really confused about how the map was laid out, questioning where our jungler was all game, but it didn't matter because we won lane. I didn't really mesh well with Underlord either, and I liked the look of Venomancer, so I tried him out, and well, it did not go well at all, in the slightest. And I got absolutely decimated with him, getting one kill before I had to leave to watch the Villa match. But don't worry, that match was pretty much over. Before I left, we had no chance of having a comeback. And yet again, I couldn't tell you a single thing about that match that was happening. So I had to play a lot more matches just to get a beat on the game. So that's exactly what I did. Going match after match, trying to get the basics of the game. And I was starting to learn stuff about the game actually, such as there isn't actually a jungler in this game, but instead it's kind of just like a 2-1-2 layout. And that really threw me off, because there's the off lane, where you'll be the aggressive side pushing closest to the enemy's tower. The mid lane, which is, you know, just kind of like the mid lane in League. And then the safe lane, where you're closer to your tower. Even though they do nothing in Dota, so, you know, the tower, you know, you're just closer to the enemy's base, I guess. The map's also symmetrical, while in League of Legends the map's flipped, which is pretty neat to learn. I also learned that you can give each other items and potions to quickly help out, heal, or refill the mana of your teammates. And my final match of the 10 hours was approaching, and I still didn't have a character that I found that I liked, or even found slightly enjoyable. So I tried yet another new character, because I'm a firm believer in once you find a character or a class or a role or something like that in any game, it becomes so much more easy and funner to play. Such as in 2xKO, I still haven't really found a character I mesh well with. I play Warwick, but with such a small roster, I don't find the game too enjoyable. But in Tekken, I found characters that I like meshed well with, and I played better. But anyway, on my final match of the first 10 hours, I decided to try Jekaro, applying everything I learnt so far about the map and the side that we were on, and how to farm minions and how to support well. But we still had the issue of not knowing what any of the characters did, and it felt like our opposition was just leveling up so much quicker than we were. But we knew how to take Fountain Fruit now. But just knowing that kind of stuff did not stop us from getting our throats throttled the whole game. Doing an occasional helping thing, but overall it just didn't feel like I was doing much. Occasionally I hit a stun while people were under towers, and before no time at all, we was fighting a losing battle due to the lack of knowledge and just being oblivious. Like this death here, once we finally won a fight.
Did you see?
Yeah.
He's on the tree.
Something. Shadow Fiend.
Okay, oh. Is that fire? I can't-
Oh no, they're my fire mixed with their demon.
Oh, it's this thing.
Yeah, no, my fire was mixed with it.
And him? Where did he come from?
He dies.
Yeah, Shadow Blade. It makes him go invisible for 17 seconds.
So yeah, that match was heading the way you think it was, and before no time at all, we had yet another loss under our belts. Our first 10 hours we had 11 losses and 5 wins, and it was just a rough experience, but like I have said, this is a learning experience and we have learned a lot, but we still have a lot to learn. And the thing that we've learned was that we have got our roles all swapped up and are putting ourselves at a huge disadvantage, because I have not had much fun playing any of the support characters, which was a huge mistake by myself. So I needed to accept the loss here and move on to a role that I play in League, just so it feels like a more natural transition. I'm not a support player, I'm an ADC player, and it will be easier for me to play a role in this game that was similar to what I've already played. And that's what I was really hoping at least was true. Also, my friend was the one that was heading to the fountains and remembering to collect the fruits and activate the statues or some shit involving that, while I was the one that was focused on the minions and poking the enemies back. So yeah, we were just mixed up from the get-go. These hours I knew I needed to really lock in, because while the first set of hours weren't really quite a waste, they weren't as productive as they should have and could have been. I don't know many of the characters minus a handful at this point, and I weren't good with them. I was just playing the wrong role, and I still don't get what is a character's ability and what is an item in the game. I don't know when I should be trying to start a fight, I don't know how to maintain a lead on gold or XP yet. So all of that really needs to get sorted out quickly. So this time I decided I would spend more time trying to figure out my character that I would stick with and learn everything about. While in League of Legends I had Cogmore, I needed Dota's version of Cogmore and just couldn't find it, because for me the weirdos and freak characters are always so much more fun to play, So after a while, I decided I wanted to play Weaver, a spider guy whose main source of damage comes from his auto attacks, and we went into our first game of the post 10 hour mark, and the first game of me being a carry for us. And yet again, it didn't go well with us getting demolished, but for once, it didn't feel like it was our fault really, as we had a 1 and 16 axe with us, a 5 and 12 bow woman, and a 3 and 9 Eye of Sauron. So yeah, it really felt like it was a mountain we had to climb to even possibly have a chance at winning this game. But I did like how Weaver felt, and I like how his ult's just a reset button like an ADC Echo, and how his W is a stealth and a little bit of a damage dealer. I really liked his kit. I didn't use it perfectly, so we just kept queuing up, both of us trying to learn more and more of the game. I learned how much I hate the secret shop and how it literally feels like filler in this game that just doesn't need to be there. It just feels like it slows the pace of the game so much, and I already know this game is like a really, really slower version of League.
Now, will we ever get a good game as the dynamic duo?
No. I think the game's telling me this is my support error.
Oh my god.
While I loved Weaver, I decided to sneak in a Viper game in there, and this game I was against a Weaver, and since I played so much Weaver already, I kind of knew how he worked to play against. So I knew the basics of how this guy was going to play, and we kind of just ran through them, and we had the best game of our career so far, holding the lead throughout the entire game. My friend was feeding me every kill possible. We were using our kits to the fullest. Sure, we kept making mistakes, that was costing us deaths and everything, but we was also still learning, and I'm playing a new character for the first time. And it was finally a game where I was doing a lot. So I wasn't backing down no matter what. I even started using some of my items' active abilities to get in range of people and do damage. And it honestly was such a blast to be doing this well for once. And I actually ended the game going 19, 8 and 22. My personal best yet, and it was with a new character to me. But even though I did better with Viper, I'll just have him as a pocket pick because I do prefer Weaver, and know that my pop-off game with him is yet to come. So hours 10 through 30 were a lot better for us because we started to learn more and more stuff about the game, and we could actually start to differentiate it from League of Legends, from the mechanics like how the fountains work giving you XP, and also how the pillars give you some XP or something. We also learned how to deny minions, which is huge in this game because it stops your opponent from getting golden XP from the minions, which is actually huge. But I still have a long way to go due to not knowing when to last hit the minions, and weirdly enough I still didn't understand how the towers worked, because sometimes it hits the minions and sometimes it just decides to hit me when there's clearly minions in its range, which can't be RNG in a game like this. So we still had to figure out how that worked. I also found out 2 characters that I really liked, but again I still don't know what most of almost any other characters do other than these 2 ones, and the ones my friend played.
Yeah, the passive actually hurts my soul. Oh my god.
Weaver was still being learnt, and I was looking at different item guides for him because of how complex the items are in this game. And well, pretty much everything in this game is. And it taught me that if you want to get into a Moba, you should know that League is around 30 times more welcoming for new people, because for some wild reason, this game has a thing called Dota Plus, which is a subscription-based thing, and when you get it, it teaches you the basics of the game with what area certain characters can play and stuff like that, and giving you like, I think, a better shop guide or something. I'm not really sure, but it should really just be in the game by default, but that's fine, who cares about that. out of being stubborn, I refused to pay to learn stuff in a game and wanted to carry on learning by doing, as we had been for the past 30 hours now. But these hours just continued to be games where we were trying to learn different characters or different opponents or how to use our abilities together well. And what I found out is I really hate this one character called Techies, I think. Who's kind of like this game's Teemo, just putting bombs around the map that will just demolish you out of nowhere, and it is the most annoying thing in human history. But other than that, during these matches, I really was just focused on getting the last hits of minions and limit testing my damage as Weaver. I also learnt that sometimes people can see me when I'm in my W state, but I didn't know why. These games were just passing and passing, and I felt like I really was improving slowly but surely. But I could tell that we were also going against better people the more we played, and it seemed like the level gaps from the teams were just disgusting most of the time, leaving us with no chance in hell to possibly win. But that didn't stop us from pushing more and more games in, to the point where I was actually pretty comfortable knowing what to buy on Weaver at this point, but I still didn't understand the whole strength, agility and intelligence. But I was assuming that strength was attack damage, agility was attack speed, and intelligence was magic damage, respectively. If I was putting it into League of Legends terms, at least. Yeah, so maybe, I don't really know. But yeah, I was understanding what to build on Weaver anyway, but I wasn't sure why. I was slowly learning as well different characters, such as Tiny, who can throw people around and grows bigger as the match goes on, or Tree Man, who thrives in the trees and can like root you and stuff like that. So yeah, I was learning what to do around some characters, but nowhere near 1/20th of the cast could I name them or tell you what they do. So yeah, I'm still feeling pretty early in my character training arc. Also, at this point in time, my friend started watching some videos to see what we were doing wrong, and it seemed like we were doing the basics fairly well and weren't making too many mistakes, which was great to know, but that doesn't really make us perfect. At best, it makes us below average, which, you know what? At this point in time, was pretty good to me. I'd take it, with how many hours we had under our belts. I started trying to use my courier more as well, instead of teleporting back to the shop and buy my items, and also having walked to the secret shops for me, so I didn't have to bother wasting my time on this meaningless task that is the secret shop. I hate it. But I did keep forgetting to use him consistently. And for the League of Legends people, the courier's kind of just a thing that buys stuff from the shops and then delivers it to you no matter where you are on the map. So that is quite useful, but the enemies can find your courier and kill it, putting it on a death cooldown and gifting them gold. So it's a risk-reward kind of thing. I actually quite like it, but I can see why it isn't used in League, because it is a much faster paced game. While in this there's no recall button, but instead you have to buy town scrolls to go back, and you get a town scroll after death, or you can spend 100 gold on the town scroll.
Hours 30 through 50 saw a vast improvement for me, from learning a lot about Weaver and how his items work with him, and I also started to attempt to learn how different characters work and what they do. I was still learning how to play around them and stuff like that, and I still truly don't understand how towers work yet. So for the next 50 hours, I will also be sprinkling in some videos here and there so I can truly learn what I need to, because as far as the basic mechanics go, I really do think I've learned all I can on my own for now. I just need to start getting to the somewhat more intermediate mechanics. And also, I think watching videos on the game will help me learn the characters and the importance of each lane, and when I should swap lanes and all that kind of stuff. But somewhat of a problem for us is we can still get a lead most of the time, but holding that lead feels impossible. Like, we'll be 2 levels up on our opponents in lane, then 10 minutes later we'll see them somewhere, and they'll have more items, more XP, and then we'll just get slapped around. So we really need to learn what's going wrong there.
Wait, what? Oh, got 30.
Sometimes I cancel video. Honestly, God, every single time we queued up now, it seemed like we were outclassed for some reason. Almost as if all our training up till this point was all for nothing, and I have no idea at all what we've done to summon the goon squad to come out of the woods and abuse us. But that's exactly what was happening at this point. Just pure abuse, to the point where I was questioning if we were even playing against bots to begin with. And when I say these 25 hours were a waste, that's exactly what they were. It was just match after match of losses and sadness, to the point where I really didn't even really want to finish this challenge up at the point. I was just starting to hate my time on the game. Due to the steamrolls, like, we had no chance whatsoever. I guess I got 2 positives from it actually. I was starting to learn some of the actual characters we were going against because of how much we was getting battered by them. And we was also coming up with like different theories on what they did when we saw them and like how they could use their abilities to catch us and stuff. But I still couldn't say for certain 100% what every character does or anything that you could show me. And we was also learning more about the map. Such as there's areas you can go to get XP, and also little gold bounty things on the floor at the start of the game that people fight for. The shop was also becoming slightly more clear to me, but I still think that League of Legends shop is just so much better, but that might just be a bias thing. That will never go for me just because it's just more streamlined and understandable, whilst this game shop is very cluttered. And the game doesn't really assist you in any way or tell you what items do what really. It also has a bunch of special different terms, like, just to be different. Or I'm an idiot, who knows, but yeah, there's not really much to talk about in these hours. I was just still playing Weaver, getting my shit pushed in. There was just pain during these hours, and you know what, it really dampened my experience on this game a lot, but I saw the light at the end of the tunnel and just locked in because I only had 25 more hours left. The final stretch of this challenge, and I knew this was my last chance to prove myself, so I got straight to work, trying to focus on everything from CSing to taking fights I need, poking the enemies when I need to, trying to force them out of lane or at bare minimum make them have to spend more money on health bots, and stuff like that. But I was still slipping up way too often, causing losses, and obviously a lot of times I was just dueling a lane, just farming, and then one of my teammates would get ran through, and then we would get ganked, and then from there there's no hope for the game, but that's bound to happen in these kind of games. But I still feel like I should know how to be getting around that, to be honest, but for now there was just no way for me to even have a hope against this kind of stuff. So I just take it on the chin and move forward. These games were going a lot better than hours 50 through 75. It didn't feel like I was getting curb stomped and had no chance of fighting back in any sort of way. It might have been because we took like a week or 2 off due to like me being away for work, and when I was at home I just really didn't want to play Dota 2 because of how those hours went. But it felt like the people we were going against had dropped in skill level and now they were more around our level. Or it could be we was a lot more focused for once and actually dropping callouts to one another and coming up with plans. Also, just because we are pushing into the 100 hour mark doesn't mean we can't still learn things, because I found out that you can kill your own minions or even towers to deny the enemies from getting them. And you can also lead out the jungle camps every 5 minutes or so that you can double them up or stack them, which is extremely neat, but yet another thing you need to keep track of while playing the game, which is insane. It really feels like there's a checklist of stuff for you to do to keep track of. And for me, it might be because I'm still not used to it yet, but I just lose track of the time and everything really quickly whilst I'm trying to focus on CSing. To the point where I don't know when I'm meant to be in the jungle killing the camps, or where the XP when I should like go to the XP shrine thing. Before I knew it at all as well, I was on the last match of the challenge, and when I say I locked in hard. I knew this had to be one of the best games I could put in, and it was. I insta-locked Weaver and let loose, and this was possibly the funnest match of the whole challenge. While my farming wasn't perfect, and I was still messing up in areas, as you do, I was getting minions fairly consistently, and I was exploring the jungle and getting the camps. My friend as a support was feeding me all the kills and getting the fountain fruit and giving me the health and mana when I needed it. We were outpoking the enemy as well, and well, this is the highlights of my final game of the 100 hours.
Spirit Breaker.
Oh yeah, Spirit Breaker's ult, okay, she healed. It's a global ult where she just charges, and it's like imagine Sion's ult, but it's point and click.
Huh. So do I want to switch to oh, easy. What? Wait, what did he do? Because
I think that was the blink dagger.
Okay, but some people have a different, like, when someone denies your creep, like, someone denied one of mine, and I'll just start giggling. I'm not sure what's happening in this video. This one was just a messy start. But hopefully it's the last one before I can play some new characters.
Yeah.
I want to say it forever. I want to say you can just keep doing it. More support. Oh, you're gonna make it? Oh, okay. Talk about me. Oh, yes. Well, good. Is this guy real?
Yep.
Oh, okay. You know?
Oh god.
Oh! It's a jump scare.
Douche. Definitely kill him.
I can definitely try to live.
Viper?
Oh, there's Viper.
And
You
Timbersaw.
gotta go first. Oh crap. He's definitely gonna be after my cheeks. There's just no way. Oh, he's accompanied by someone. No, that is this. I don't have to set to this, damn it. Oh, okay. So we got it. Hey, keep that guy. Like we need you to end again at that. Can't be. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Okay! I don't know what I just did.
That's crazy. Hey, just keep doing it. I'm gonna win us the game. Oh, good heals. Keep He's gone. 5 points.
Draw Ranger here.
Yeah, you got that quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just end the game for us then. Oh, it's 85% by the way. Oh, yeah. Oh, good day.
That's so good. Come on, MVP, please. I am extremely proud of that game. I'm sure if a Dota player saw that, they'd be cringing their eyes out and just flaming me, but for me that was an amazing game, and it felt like a highlight of my time on Dota 2. Everything I learned in the 100 hours was applied from both me and my duo. So yeah, that's my first 100 hours on Dota 2, and I can happily say I enjoyed my time with this game overall, even if I was getting quite sick of the game near the end because of how non-beginner friendly it is. And when people do compare this game to League, there should be one thing that people know: this game is like 10 times harder than League. There is just so much more going on in this game, and it feels like there's always more to someone's kit than you would possibly think. I still prefer League in every way, and I think that's always how it will be, just because it's so much more quicker and snappier to me. And it was my first Moba. The characters just are more fun to me, jump on and mess around, you know, it's just one of those games, whilst Dota seems to have like more layers to it, but it has one too many layers for me, and again, that's just due to my inexperience with it. But yeah, the character designs also aren't for me, and there's no variety in characters that I enjoyed. Will I ever return to Dota 2 in my life? I'm probably one day, because I do want to try and tackle the ranked. But for now, I can happily hang up my gloves on a high of the last game. I still had so much more to learn, so much more to improve on. I still don't really understand how towers work. I don't know half the cast. In fact, I don't even know a quarter of the cast of the game. So yeah, I still have so much more to improve on. But for now, yeah, the gloves are hung up for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. That would help me out so much, and thank you for watching.